Hello students, today we are going to study the anatomy of the femoral triangle. Now the femoral triangle is a triangular depression located on the anterior aspect of the upper 1/3 of the thigh. So let us look at its boundaries first. This is the anterior superior iliac spine and this is the pubic tubercle. Now the inguinal ligament is attached between the ASIS and the pubic tubercle, which forms the base of this triangle. Now, a muscle known as the sartorius is attached to the anterior superior iliac spine and goes up to the tibia like this. Now the sartorius is the longest muscle in the body. So this is the medial border of sartorius and this is its lateral border. So let me draw the sartorius first. Another muscle of the adductor compartment known as the adductor longus is attached to the pubic bone over here. So this is the medial border of the adductor longus and this is the lateral border. So the femoral triangle lies here between, so it is bounded laterally by the medial border of the sartorius, medially by the medial border of this muscle adductor longus. The base is formed by the inguinal ligament. The apex, which lies pointing downwards, lies at the junction of the lateral and medial borders. Now the apex here is continuous with a structure known as the adductor canal. So I will label these muscles. This is adductor longus and this is sartorius. Now it is important to note that here the medial border is forming the medial boundary of this triangle and not the lateral border. This is because the adductor longus lies slightly in a posteromedial plane, okay, and the lateral border of it lies behind and the whole muscle goes on the posterior aspect of the femur to get attached onto the linea aspera. So this muscle basically does not lie in a same plane but is lying slightly posteriorly. That is why the muscle adductor longus forms a part of the floor of this triangle, which we will discuss just now. Now coming to the roof of this triangle, okay, if I just draw this area over here, so the roof of this triangle will be formed firstly by the skin, then the superficial fascia and its contents. Now the contents of the superficial fascia of this region are the three superficial arteries given by the femoral artery and also the superficial inguinal lymph nodes. Apart from this, two cutaneous nerves, that is the femoral branch of the genitofemoral nerve as well as the cutaneous branches from the ilioinguinal nerve. These are all contents of the superficial fascia of this triangle, right? So I'll draw that. So once we remove the skin of this area, we come across the three superficial branches of the femoral artery, that is the superficial circumflex iliac artery, the superficial epigastric artery, and the superficial external pudendal artery. Now, veins of the same name accompany these arteries, and drain into the femoral vein. So these three superficial arteries and veins are a content of the superficial fascia of this region, right? Apart from this, a large vein known as the great saphenous vein, the upper part of the great saphenous vein, which drains into the femoral vein over here, is also a content of the superficial fascia. Now, this is the femoral branch of the genitofemoral nerve, and also the ilioinguinal nerve gives off a few cutaneous branches. So all these are the contents of the superficial fascia of this region forming the roof. Next to the superficial fascia is the deep fascia. The deep fascia of the thigh, is known as the fascia lata. So the fascia lata forms the inner layer of the roof, and the deep fascia over here has two modifications. Number one is an opening for the great saphenous vein to drain into the femoral vein. This is known as the saphenous opening. The saphenous opening over here is covered by a fascia known as the cribriform fascia. So this is the saphenous opening, which guards the opening of the great saphenous vein into the femoral vein. So these were the structures forming the roof of this triangle. Now coming to the floor of the triangle, the floor is formed by four muscles from medial to lateral. We have already seen the first muscle, that is the adductor longus. Then next to the adductor longus, there is a muscle known as the pectineus. So this is the pectineus muscle, next to which lies the tendon of psoas major muscle. And the lateral most part of the floor is formed by the iliacus muscle. So from medial to lateral, the muscles which form the floor of this triangle are the adductor longus, the pectineus, the tendon of psoas major muscle, as well as the iliacus muscle. Okay. Now coming to the most important part of the femoral triangle, that is its contents. So in order to see the contents, I will just remove this muscle over here. So the first content of this triangle is the femoral artery. Now the femoral artery is a continuation of the external iliac artery, and it enters the femoral triangle below the inguinal ligament, close to a point known as the mid-inguinal point. Now the mid-inguinal point, this is the femoral artery. And the mid-inguinal point lies midway between the anterior superior iliac spine and the pubic symphysis. Now just medial to the artery lies the femoral vein. But it is important to note that at the apex of the triangle, the vein moves posterior-medial to the artery. So at the apex, the artery lies anterior, while at the base, the artery is lateral to the femoral vein. Okay, remember this point. Now, in the triangle itself, so the second content that we have seen is the femoral vein. Now, in the triangle itself, the femoral artery gives off 6 branches, out of which 3 are superficial and 3 are the deep branches. The 3 superficial branches which we had already seen in the roof are the superficial circumflex iliac artery, the superficial epigastric artery, and the superficial external pudendal artery. Now the 3 deep branches are number 1, the profunda femoris artery. Now the profunda femoris is the largest branch of the femoral artery. Apart from that, another deep branch is known as the deep external pudendal, and the third are the muscular branches which supply the adjacent muscles. Okay, so again I will repeat this. The femoral artery gives off 3 superficial and 3 deep set of branches in the femoral triangle. The superficial branches are the superficial circumflex iliac, the superficial epigastric, and the superficial external pudendal, while the deep branches are the profunda femoris artery, the deep external pudendal artery, as well as the muscular branches for the adjoining muscles. So the femoral artery and the branches are an important content of this triangle. Along with the femoral vein, the upper 3 to 4 centimeters of these vessels are actually enclosed in a sheath known as the femoral sheath. So the third important content would be the femoral sheath. Now the femoral sheath is a prolongation of fascia from the abdomen, that is, its anterior wall of the femoral sheath is formed by fascia transversalis, while the posterior wall is formed by fascia iliaca. Okay, so this upper 3 to 4 centimeters of the femoral vessels are enclosed in this sheath, and 2 antero-posterior septa divide this whole femoral sheath into 3 separate compartments. Now the lateral most compartment is occupied by the femoral artery. Along with this, the femoral branch of the genitofemoral nerve runs in the lateral most compartment, but after a certain course it pierces the femoral sheath to become superficial. So we had seen this nerve in the roof, right? So the lateral most compartment is occupied by the femoral artery and the femoral branch of the genitofemoral nerve. Now the middle compartment is occupied by the femoral vein, and the medial most compartment is occupied by lymphatics and a lymph node known as the lymph node of Cloquet or lymph node of Rosenmuller. So this medial most compartment has a lymph node which is known as the lymph node of Rosenmuller. Now it is important to know that this medial most compartment is known as the femoral canal, and it is an important site of something which is known as femoral hernia, where the abdominal contents may herniate into the femoral region from this space. Okay. Now this was the third content. Now the fourth content is a very important one, which is known as the femoral nerve. Now the femoral nerve lies lateral to the artery. It is a branch from the lumbar plexus. In fact, it is the largest branch from the lumbar plexus, and it supplies most of the muscles of the extensor compartment of the thigh. Now the femoral nerve enters below the inguinal ligament from a point which is known as the midpoint of inguinal ligament, which is basically exactly the midpoint of the inguinal ligament between the anterior superior iliac spine, and the pubic tubercle. So this is the location where the femoral nerve enters the femoral triangle, right? Now, there are certain other nerves which are also a content of this triangle. Firstly, a nerve to pectineus. Now, before the femoral nerve enters the femoral triangle, here itself it gives off a branch known as the nerve to pectineus, which supplies the muscle pectineus in the triangle. So, this nerve is also a content. So, next, to the femoral sheath, we have seen the femoral nerve, and the other nerves are nerve to pectineus. Also, this branch which we have already seen, the femoral branch of genitofemoral nerve. Apart from that, the ilioinguinal nerve, which is basically a branch from the L1 spinal segment, and also a nerve known as the lateral femoral cutaneous nerve of the thigh. Lateral femoral cutaneous nerve of the thigh, which traverses the triangle at its lateral angle. This is the lateral angle, the medial angle, and the inferior angle. So we have seen the nerves which are a content of the femoral triangle. Apart from that, the deep inguinal group of lymph nodes are also located here in the femoral region. Okay, so these were the main contents of the triangle, the boundaries. I will just repeat a few pointers which you must remember. Firstly, the boundaries. You know that the lateral boundary is formed by the medial border of sartorius. The medial border is formed by the medial border of adductor longus. The base is formed by the inguinal ligament, and the apex points downwards and is continuous with the adductor canal. Secondly, the most important contents here from lateral to medial side are the femoral nerve, femoral artery, and femoral vein. Now, the femoral artery and vein are enclosed in the femoral sheath. The artery enters the femoral triangle at the mid-inguinal point, whereas the femoral nerve enters the triangle from the midpoint of inguinal ligament. I hope you understood this topic well. Thank you.